Evan Perez with more on this latest arrest.
We have another arrest. It's basically become a national roundup of some of these people that have been seen on some of the social media pictures who invaded the Capitol. The latest arrest, his name is Adam Johnson. He was picked up in his home state of Florida in Pinellas County. He's booked in Pinellas County Jail. And according to the officials there, he was booked at the request of the Justice Department. We anticipate that he's going to face charges. Now, the pictures I think you already have are of him holding the Speaker's podium, one of the many people who ransacked the Capitol and posted pictures of themselves or were captured on social media images showing what they were doing at the Capitol. We know so far the Justice Department has announced charges against at least 13 people. There are a number of other arrests or charges that are still under seal. We expect some more arrests over the weekend, and we expect to see some more charges into the next week. We're told, Fred, that the investigators from the FBI, the ATF, the U.S. Marshals, as well as the Metropolitan Police here in Washington are working with prosecutors around the country, around the clock, to try to find some of these people. Some of them, a lot of them have gone back to their home states, and they're getting picked up, and they're going to be brought here to face these charges.
Evan Perez, thank you so much for that. Meanwhile, President Trump is reeling after his favorite social media platform, Twitter, indefinitely suspended his account. CNN's Sarah Westwood is at the White House for us. So, Sarah, what has been the reaction?
Well, Fred, President Trump seemingly attempted to get around that ban last night when he posted complaining about having his free speech taken away, hinting that he could soon be looking for an alternative platform. But this is coming as the White House is in crisis mode, dealing with the fallout from the president's incitement of violence this week and the looming prospect of impeachment coming potentially as soon as Monday. And privately, aides are taking that very seriously. Publicly, the White House released a statement yesterday saying, as President Trump said yesterday, this is a time for healing and unity as one nation. A politically motivated impeachment against a president with 12 days remaining in his term will only serve to further divide our great country. Now, 11 days left in the president's term. But aides have been trying to guide the president towards a more measured response and towards a more forceful condemnation of the riots after his highly criticized initial response in which he said he loved the rioters. The president released a second video which he did go after the rioters more forcefully, but nonetheless lawmakers on both sides of the aisle were very dismayed at that initial reaction from the president and the fact that he did not seem to be bothered by the fact that these rioters were storming the Capitol. That included Republican Senator Ben Sasse, who claims that Trump was delighted with what he saw.
As this was unfolding on television, Donald Trump was walking around the White House confused about why other people on his team weren't as excited as he was, as you had rioters pushing against Capitol Police trying to get into the building.
Now, during the insurrection, CNN is reporting that Trump and his attorney, Rudy Giuliani, tried repeatedly to reach Senator Tommy Tuberville, an ally who they hoped to push into delaying the certification of the Electoral College results. They both mistakenly dialed Senator Mike Lee by accident. They did not reach Tuberville in order to pressure him to delay those certification further, but it just shows you the desperation that Trump and his allies were feeling as the scene unfolded on Wednesday. One person who did not receive a phone call from the president during all that chaos was Vice President Mike Pence, who stayed at the Capitol throughout the day, late into the night, to oversee the certification of the election results. The rift between the two men has only grown. They have not spoken since that day, and Pence has said he will attend the inauguration if invited, while Trump has said he will not attend. Now, White House aides are hoping that the president can turn his attention to what he'll be doing after he leaves office in 11 days and preserving whatever's left of his legacy. But of course, Fred, there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding how the president will behave with this last week plus in office.
And so, Sarah, what more do we know, if anything, about how it is the vice president and the president have not spoken when the vice president was seen going to work at the White House? Ordinarily, aren't they in each other's space? If at the very least on the phone, how is it they were able to avoid one another at work at the White House?
Yeah, Fred, the seeming split between Trump and Pence is really remarkable because throughout Trump's campaign and presidency, Pence has been in lockstep with Trump. He has really been extremely loyal to the president. But earlier this week, we did see Trump, while he still had a Twitter, go after Pence on that platform for overseeing the election results. Trump has privately complained that Pence did not do enough to obstruct the election. Now, 25th Amendment talk removing Trump with members of the cabinet did pop up this week, but Pence, Fred, was said not to have been interested in using that option.
And it takes the vice president, it takes a majority of the president's cabinet and 2/3 Congress in order to get that removal of office to happen. All right, thank you so much, Sarah Westwood. Appreciate it. All right, so momentum is building, however, towards a second impeachment of President Trump starting on Monday. Nancy Pelosi signaled that Democrats have every intention of holding the president to account.
Sadly, the person who's running the executive branch is a deranged, unhinged, dangerous president of the United States. And only a number of days until we can be protected from him. But he has done something so serious that there should be prosecution against him.
Suzanne Malveaux is on Capitol Hill. Suzanne, good to see you again. So what can you tell us about a potential timeline on this, and is this momentum gaining traction?
Well, Fred, already we have a copy of this. This is one single article of impeachment here that has been drawn up, the draft resolution calling for the incitement of insurrection of the president for his role on Wednesday with the mob entering the Capitol and trying to overturn the election results. Now, things are happening very, very quickly here, really rapid fire. Monday is when we expect that the House Rules Committee will meet, and they will lay the ground rules here for the debate that will take place and for the privileged resolution that will come forward, and that essentially means 2 days. 2-day process here. They could actually vote. It just takes a simple majority in the House to vote out these articles of impeachment. The Democrats, in fact, as you know, are in charge of the House, so that could happen. Now, the next stage of this, of course, would be to send it over to the Senate. That is where they would have to conduct a trial as well as determine whether or not they would convict the president, remove him from office. I covered the impeachment in December of 2019 of Trump, and it was very different than what we are seeing now. Before, on the House side, you had no Republicans who were signing off on the impeachment, and only one Republican Senator, Mitt Romney, who in fact voted to convict and remove the president. This go round, we are already hearing from some Republicans, they're not saying impeach, but they're certainly saying in some form or fashion that he must go. We have heard from Representative Adam Kinzinger, Senator Ben Sass, Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska saying this: he needs to get out. He needs to do the good thing, but I don't think he's capable of doing the good thing. And so what you will see on the Senate side, if in fact he is impeached, is a moment of reckoning here. It will be during the Biden administration. And the question is, why would you try to remove the president during the Biden administration when he's already gone? Well, if in fact they do that on the Senate side, he will never be able to run for federal office again.